Hey everyone, of course, welcome to the next edition of Forum Bites. In this episode, we're going to be tackling one of the most requested items we have from moderators globally, and that's to give examples of what you can do on your retreat to mold your forum together. So in this video, we're going to be giving you 4 examples of what you can do to bring your forum to that next level. And of course, I'm outside, which is awesome. So you're about to go on your retreat and you're wondering what type of activities you can do to mold your forum together, to lift the intimacy within your forum members, to therefore lift the forum experience. Now, these 4 examples of retreat exercises are ones that I've done or people have done on me at different retreats. I've seen other global individuals use them, and they're done by many different names. But what I'll do is I'll go through each of them and try and explain them as best I can. So the very first one is actually where you get your forum members to write their own obituary or their own death note, whatever way you want to be able to put it. Now, I know that sounds morbid, but it's not. What you do is you get everyone to sit down. It takes around about 45 minutes to an hour to do this whole activity. Make sure everyone has a single piece of paper, which is important, and also a pen. You start off with the story that it is putting them in a situation where it's, let's say, 40 years in the future. It's 40 years in the future, and someone significant in their life, either their kids, their friends, or their grandkids, it has to be someone significant, is about to read your obituary. It's about to read what has been put into social media or the newspapers or online to acknowledge the world that you have passed from this life. And the question I would have for them is, what do you want to be remembered for? Not what are you now remembered for, but what do you want to be remembered for? Give them around about 10 minutes to actually write their own obituary, to write down exactly the words that they want to have someone say about them upon their death. Get them all to read those out to each other once they've completed them. And at the end of that situation, at the end of the presentation, ask the simple question of how far are you away from where you want to be to where you are now. It's really important to be able to keep those. That's why having them on a single piece of paper is important. Because what I also used at the end of it is I was able to bring out my obituary 12 months later. I was able to bring it out and reread that obituary and then actually have a look at how far I'd gotten towards where I wanted to be. And at the handover as actual moderator role, you will be able to use those to be able to gauge how far you've come to where your forum wants to be on an individual basis as well as naturally on a group basis. As I said, it takes around about an hour to do the activity, once again depending on the size of your forum, but it's really powerful. But remember, 1, don't give them a heads up. They need to think as they go. 2, the person reading the obituary has got to be someone important in their life. And 3, keep them. You have to make sure you come back to them later to be able to gauge how far you've gone in your moderator term. Second activity. This is where it's a very simple start, stop, continue activity. Now, I'm sure that you've done these in your businesses before, where you've sat down with your people and asked them a question about what do you want to stop in the business, what do you want to start in the business, and what do you want to continue in the business unit to make it better. And it's a very good non-confrontational way to be able to talk about the forum experience, but make sure you pick some type of major topic. In other words, we're going to be talking about our presentations. What are we going to start, stop and continue? Or we're going to talk about our commitment to forum, the overall forum experience, or whatever you want to be able to talk about as a moderator to be able to drive people to actually improve whatever you're talking about. Give them all 3 cards and naturally get them to write down 1 start, 1 stop and 1 continue. After they've written down on those cards, make into 3 piles where they actually go ahead and put those into the particular pile. Start, stop, continue, and then as a forum, actually go through them. It's a really good way to be able to gauge where people are at. And it's fantastic to be able to see items as a moderator to find out what they want you to start doing. More importantly, what they want you to stop doing. And also it makes it easier for you to talk about those very touchy subjects so you can get them to do what you need them to do. Like, for example, turn up to forum. When it's actually put out to the group, as a group discussion. As I said, it's non-confrontational, but it allows you to get deeper into your experience, depending obviously on the type of topic that you talk about. But once again, as I said, it takes around about an hour, and just make sure you choose the particular topic that you want to improve upon for your 12 months as moderator. So the third activity. This is an activity where you get your forum to actually write a letter to themselves in the future about what they've achieved. What you do is you sit everyone down. It takes, once again, around about an hour, depending naturally on the size of your forum. You give everyone a pen and a piece of paper. It's important that they have a single piece of paper because, once again, this is going to be kept. You set up the scene from the point of view of describing that they are writing a letter to their future self. What they need to do is they need to put themselves in the persona that every goal they have planned to achieve, every flag in the field, every achievement they want to achieve in the next 12 months, they have achieved. And they will have to write a letter to their future self talking about exactly that. For example, let's say in 12 months' time I want to lose, 15 kilos, or I want to run a marathon. I'd write a letter to myself simply, "Dear Rod, it must be fantastic to have achieved that marathon that you never achieved before. And being lighter must be fantastic. I'm so looking forward to being that person who's achieved something that I've never achieved before." And when you're writing those letters, it gives you the ability to be able to frame what they're actually aiming and what they actually see as success for themselves within the forum experience and obviously within the next 12 months. Now, these letters are very powerful because what you do, once again, is you grab those letters. You can then give those letters back at the end of the 12-month period for them to reread themselves. And the best thing about these letters, that obviously you're going to be keeping confidential, you can use them as a measurement of success for them. Within my current forum, I've got something called the Almanac, which is just based on the Back to the Future franchise, where Michael J. Fox went into the future to grab the Almanac to come back to actually bet on the winning horses. And as you know, it caused all the problems within the movie. And I actually used that Almanac to ask them, what do they want to achieve in the future? And I was able to write down them achieving that within the Almanac that I can then use and bring back out at the end of my tenure. But also, it's a perfect way for me to be able to help hold them accountable to things that are important to them. Because if they want to achieve them, it's important. And I just make sure that on their presentations, on their roundups, whatever it is, I make sure it comes back to what they're planning on. Maybe not directly, but certainly indirectly. I make sure their presentations are based on what they want to achieve. So when they get to the end of the 12 months and they read their own letter, they are actually sitting there successful, thinking of their past person, writing to the new successful one, and then you actually have a gauge of what success looks like for everyone. And the last activity is where you actually get your forum members to make a presentation on something that they're passionate about based in a learning event. What I mean by that is this is a pre-prepared one. This is where you actually have to give them a heads up in advance so they can prepare something. And you tell them that they have to find something that they're passionate about, something that they can talk about and teach the group about, that the group probably doesn't know about. And then therefore, when they make the presentation, not only do you get to know more about the person, but you also get to learn something as a forum, something brand new. For example, I did a presentation on cognac. I love cognac. I also love scotch and every other drink, but cognac is certainly my passion. And I was able to stand up and actually talk to my forum and talk to them about where cognac came from. I was able to talk about what good cognac looks like, bad cognac looks like, where it comes from, what it tastes like, how to drink cognac, how to tell the difference between good and bad cognac. And I was able to do I suppose, a learning session based on something I'm passionate about. I brought the glasses down, I brought the cognac down, I went from good to better, to best, so they could therefore use the skills they just learned. And they were able to learn something from me, but also learn something about me. And the topics can be absolutely anything, depending on the individual. Now, once again, they do have to have a heads up. They have to be able to prepare for this. But it's something that it really knits the forum together, not only from a learning perspective, but also from just understanding each other and, to be honest, just having fun. Now, as I said, this is only 4 examples of what you can do on retreat. We are going to be doing more of these as I gather as much information as I can, because this is one of the most requested topics, so we'll certainly do more of these. But once again, if you have any questions whatsoever about what we've just spoken about, just leave them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed already, just go ahead and hit that bald head right now. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode.